It is.
And as far as I know, Miller only has about 5.1% alcohol. I don't know. I had to look that up. Maybe a little Google session here or there. By the way, my name's Brandon.
I'm Brandon.
This is Shiddy BnB, and welcome to our Shiddy podcast.
Yeah, we figured we'd go on and try out something to give you all something to listen to when you're bored as hell and, just have a good-ass time. Just think about things.
Drinking a little bit of Blue Moon. Not a sponsor. It's, as I said before, 5.4% alcohol by volume.
Blue Moon's actually really good, though. Like, it's, legit smooth.
It has a taste. It has, I think, what do they use? Orange peel?
Yeah.
They use,
I read something about that earlier.
Well, I thought there was other flavors of Blue Moon, too.
Valyerian? Vagina orange peel.
Valyerian Valyerian orange peel. And I'll tell you what, if this is made from Valyerian vagina orange peels, which, as we all know, Valyerian is from Valeria.
No, that's malaria.
Valeria is from Valeria. Actually, I'm not sure if that's true or not, but Daenerys Targaryen was a Valyerian, and if she has a vagina and it were to be squeezed into this bottle, I would drink it, because that is a juice that
must be a full-time job, because I drink a lot of these.
Do you not know who Daenerys Targaryen is?
Not at all.
Oh, Lord.
Zero.
You're going to go watch Harry Potter, because that's...
Is that all for that?
No. It's not a Harry Potter. It's much more...
So, personally, I think there's three different types of people. There's the Harry Potter fans, there's the Lord of the Rings fans, and then there's Star Wars.
I'm guilty of the Lord of the Rings fans, but
I like Lord of the
I
Rings.
think we need to add two more as subcategories for The Witcher and for
Star Trek.
Game of Thrones. You know what?
Star Trek,
I'll give you Star Trek too. Star Trek should definitely be a subcategory.
But Star Trek, I feel like, is like the more...
It's the nerdiest thing you can ever watch.
I don't know anybody that watched it. My buddy's dad did, but he was like older than dirt.
My uncle used to watch Star Trek, and he was about it.
How old is he?
He's 62 now.
It's an old thing, then.
It may be so. I mean, but this is the kind of guy, I'm telling you, like he would watch Star Wars and then go play his DOS video games.
His Atari.
And it's the year 2004, and he still has a joystick with a DOS computer. But he is a millionaire in in assets. If he were to liquidate everything, he would be a millionaire. But as far as assets goes, that's where his money's at. But he's broke when it comes to actual physical money.
I ate a Jolly Rancher off the floor once. That man is making technology, and I'm just counting out change for Little Caesars.
If we're talking about food that we've eaten off of places, I have absolutely been dared. I didn't do it because I wanted to, but I got dared in middle school to eat the chewing gum off the bottom of a Little Caesars table.
Was it a money bet?
It was not a money bet. It was just, are
Charity.
you cool?
Charity.
And guess what? After I chewed it up and everything, I realized that I'm not cool. I'm a fucking idiot.
Now tell me, did it still have the flavor?
It did not have the flavor.
Oh.
At first, I thought that I'd taste something, but it was probably
herpes.
Every little kid that had come in there and touched it with their booger fingers.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
then you're definitely, I would think you're immune to COVID.
How about this? Well, I'm not immune. I won't say why, but definitely not immune. Well, let me tell you a little story real quick about Little Caesars.
So, I like Little Caesars.
I was at Little Caesars. I went to a birthday party in the 9th grade, and we went with this girl. Oddly enough, she had one blue eye and one green eye, which has absolutely nothing to do with the story.
Yeah.
But she used to have seizures. She was prone to having seizures. She had a seizure at Little Caesars, so we started calling her Little Seizures.
Oh, boy.
And that is a true story. I don't know if Tony Costello or William Tandler is listening, but Cartersville, Georgia, you're getting called out right now, so make sure that you're listening in and you're laughing about it, or at least reminiscing.
I think you typed in twice.
No, hold on. I'm trying to play with my phone
for all
right
the
now.
listeners right now, I just bought a camper that was like way too overpriced, and
It might have been around over eight. We'll say overpriced. We won't say it was $18,000, but we'll say it was overpriced.
Yeah, including taxes. But other than that, so we're doing this off the phone right now. Later on, we're gonna see if this blows up. We're gonna see if this becomes something. Really, what we want is
Don't subscribe. It's terrible.
Yeah, it absolutely blows.
That's why it's called Shiddy BnB, but it's probably going to be spelled with 2 D's and a Y.
Daddy.
Shitty, because YouTube and other places that we posted on is not going to allow us to have shitty SHITTY.
It'll be $HITTY.
$IDDY. Shidaddy. Shidaddy coming in to spank that ass to give you this podcast because I like mowing the grass in my New Balance. By the way, I do a little freestyle here and there on the side for no money.
It's usually when the alcohol kicks in, though.
Well, when the alcohol comes regularly, I tend to drink. You tend to drink. There are regular bars that we've been to. There's places in Rome, Georgia that are pretty nice. I don't know if anybody's been to Rome, Georgia, but Giggity's
is the spot.
Wednesdays. I would not say it's the spot. I would say that it has. It is a spot. It does have karaoke on Wednesdays, and we do tend to sing karaoke.
Yep. So stop on by if you want to see us. We absolutely suck at singing, so you might want to make other plans, but
if you decide to stop by, which I know most people listening probably won't stop by, that's fine. You don't have to see us. You'll never know what we look like unless you see us. But speaking of see us, I had a question about blind people.
Blind.
All right. So more of a statement. I was at Gulf Coast State College. I was going there because, only important people go to state college.
Yeah, I've never been to college, so thanks for that.
Well, I never said you were important. You're just important as a co-partner to this.
I like to think I'm important. Right before I fall asleep and forget about it.
He's like a goldfish. He goes to sleep, and the next day it's just blank. I'm important.
I'm in danger.
So I was going to Gulf Coast State College, and this blind girl was looking for her room, and somebody had told me in a seminar that I went to that I need to be more assertive with people that I talk to, no matter who they are. Don't give them any leeway.
More direct.
Just make sure that they grow into the person that they're supposed to be.
Definitely.
So this blind girl is standing there in the hallway, and she can't find the room, and she's supposed to be going in the same room as me. It could have been easy for me to say, hey, just grab my arm, I'll take you into the room. Instead, I, as a non-gentleman, said, don't all the rooms have Braille outside?
She's just
and
feeling
then
all the
I
walls.
just walked inside. Later, I did see her in there, but I will never forget my experience with an actual blind person.
That's hilarious.
Because I am a jerk.
So, whenever I first met my blind person, I didn't know that, it was new to me. Like, I was a kid, I didn't know it was a thing. And anyways, he was driving. I'm joking. No, this was at Walmart. And my mom was driving. And anyways, my mom was being patient for this guy. And he was like being super slow. And I was just like, oh my God. I was probably like 7. So I didn't know, or I was maybe 9. But anyways, I didn't know that, how blindness works. Never met a blind dude, you know what I mean? So therefore,
Who understands what blind people are at the age of 8?
They're fucking unicorns. Like, you don't meet a whole lot of blind people.
There was a midget that went to my middle school.
I went,
and I'm pretty sure she got banged by everybody.
So I worked
mostly. You know what? I'll keep that comment to myself. But it may have been darker pigments. That banged her.
Gotcha.
But not saying that many of the lighter pigments wouldn't have banged her.
The well ran deep. So
let's just say that that midget got ran through thoroughly.
Oh yeah. Well, other than that, you know, like speaking speaking of midgets and whatnot, I remember I had to go do this job out in Talladega.
Whoa! Go back. I need to hear this blind story.
Oh yeah, no, it's not too crazy. I was just adding my part for my first blind story because as this guy was walking across and everything, he had this stick and he was just stabbing at the ground, and I didn't know
trash.
I didn't know what that meant. Like he was just like clicking at the ground and everything. I thought he found a cool stick in Walmart. I'm like 9 years old, you know, like I didn't think nothing of it.
Dude.
All I know is that this guy
had a good stick.
Yeah, it was.
I got a walking stick.
Apparently bought a stick. It was a good stick, you know. He probably got it on clearance. It was like, hell yeah, good deal.
Walmart has good deals back in the 90s, you know. Not going to say how old we are, but, you know, kids back in the 90s.
We're not sponsoring Walmart.
We're not sponsoring old age either.
But, no, at any rate, you know, this guy was walking across, like, super slow, and I'm sitting there, and I'm waiting to go in. Mom said I could have a toy this side and the other, and I'm super stoked. Well, we're waiting for a parking spot, so we're coming across where the entrance is and everything, and he's coming across. And I said, like, I leaned out the window, I said, hey, can you hurry up? And this guy just starts staring, like, all over the place, and I was just like, in my head, I was like, what is your deal? And my mom was like, Brody, he's blind. And I was just like, what does that mean? You know? And then she said,
blind? Does that mean he lives in a house that has those things that come down and cover the windows?
Like curtains? But, no, I mean, blind people are like unicorns. You gotta think. And even with like unicorns, you gotta imagine a horse with a horn. But then, somehow that's not a real thing, but giraffes are. If you can imagine a moose with a 24-foot neck with leopard skin, which one are you gonna picture first?
Well, what if I told you there was whales or seals with unicorn horns?
I actually found out that that's a real fucking
narwhal.
They have a song. They have a song for that.
What is it?
Narwhal, blah, blah. I don't know the words. This next show I will.
when on the next episode.
It's actually their molar though.
Of shit. Yeah, it's supposed to be like a tooth that grows through, right?
Yeah.
It's like,
could you imagine if people did that?
Vortus. Well, shit. My daughter has to get freaking braces, so I'm assuming like it could be coming. God dang, I got them hiccups, man.
Yeah. I gotta go get my bike serviced. You have a bike? You had a bike?
I had a bike.
What happened to your bike?
Oh boy. So, let me spit my dip out and try to get rid of this hiccups real quick.
Yeah, hold your breath.
Tell me how you get rid of hiccups while I get rid of mine.
All right, we're gonna go to commercial. Thank you for tuning in to Fox 24 Today. Today's broadcast is demonstrating how Brandon is able to hold his breath and get rid of the hiccups.
So I'm Brandon number 2 because I'm the shit, and he's Brandon number 1 because
I'm the piss, cuz.
But, anyways, yes, I did used to have a bike. I've had several bikes actually. My first bike was a Honda
CBR.
No, it was a It was a Honda VT 1100. It was an '86.
It was a Shadow. VT 1100.
Yeah. It was 1100. I really liked that bike a lot. I eventually burned out the back tire on it, and I didn't replace it.
Yeah.
So I traded it to this guy in the army. So I traded to this army.
Lowest bidder.
one of my army buddies. You know about those, right? Being in the army yourself,
Family discount,
and myself. As combat arms, we always stick to the highest standards.
Oh,
so I traded this bike to him for a Honda CRX, which I promptly destroyed and give back to him. Or actually, I didn't give it back. It went to the impound, and he couldn't pay to get it out. So I just dipped out because I'm a piece of shit.
Hey, we all are.
But then I had a Suzuki Intruder 800,
I had one of
which
those.
was super chromed out, super nice.
Badass.
My dad, I believe, has a 1500 now.
Nice.
And it's very nice. He showed me a picture. He paid $2,000 for it, which is mostly just like all the fittings on it.
Have you ever laid down a bike?
Yes, that's gonna be my next.
The story you're coming to.
I had a Kawasaki Vulcan 500, I believe.
Nice. My dad
500 or 650, either way.
What is it? A 700 or 750?
No, it was definitely a 500. I had a Kawasaki Vulcan 500, and I was coming back from Dahlonega, Georgia, and on my way back from Dahlonega, Georgia, I went into a turn that had gravel all over the road.
Oh, man.
And your boy hit the gravel, and I slid off of it going about 60 miles per hour. I flew down the road at about 60 miles per hour, like Superman, hands out first, and I hit the ground, and I started rolling. I was wearing my uniform. I just got done with training, and I hit the ground in my ACUs at the time. I think this was like 2012. And it tore my left sleeve off, but I stood back up, and there was some old lady looking at me like she didn't believe what she just saw.
On a scale of 1 to holy fuck, like, what were you feeling at that point?
At that point, the adrenaline was going through my body, and I was pissed that I just wrecked that bike because somebody put gravel all across the road.
How long did you have it for?
I had the bike for exactly 3 hours.
Hell yeah. Best time of my life.
Yeah, best 3 hours ever. I crashed it. I ended up getting 20 internal staples in my arm and then 10 external. I fractured my kneecap and broke one of my toes. I went to my dad's house. I drove the bike back to his house. It was all fucked up.
Yeah.
But I drove it back to his house, and my dad says, you need to go to the hospital because I got blood just pouring down my arm where my sleeve used to be. I'm wearing a uniform with one sleeve. And I said, "Nah, bro, I'm good." And he's like, "Wait till."
Completely out of
He said, "Wait." He said, "Wait till the adrenaline wears off. You'll want to go to the hospital." And then about 5 minutes later, I was like, "Please go to the hospital."
Yeah.
But if I remember correctly, you had a similar wreck.
So it's funny that you said VT 1100. I feel like those are the bikes that wreck.
Well, mine was a Kawasaki Vulcan, not 1100.
So I noticed you did your backstory. My first bike was a Kawasaki 500 Ninja. And anyways, I wanted to go and run with that because I thought it was part of the cool guys. Plus, you know, I bought the bike for $500, clean carb, this, that, and the other. On
500, no problem.
Sold it for $2,000, and then from there, you know, we deployed to Afghanistan, yada yada. Whenever a monk's coming back, now, my bad, I skipped a whole bunch, but like, I've had the Gixxer, I think it was 650, it was bored out. Don't quote me on that, I don't remember the CC. But I had the Suzuki Intruder, which is a great running bike. If you ever get one for a beginner bike, it's great.
A Gixxer?
No, a Suzuki Intruder.
Oh yeah, Intruder. I will tell you right now. I
Absolutely.
Don't attack me over the comments, but no, please do.
Actually,
please shit on
the
me.
fuck out of us. We love that shit.
We're both ugly and fat and disgusting, but. Yeah, I will say that Intruders, Suzuki Intruders, are probably better than Harleys, in my opinion.
So, I have a Harley now. And how I got to the Harley is I had the VT 1100.
Yeah. Which you promptly crashed.
Absolutely.
Correct. Well, let's hear that real quick. Before you get to the Harley.
I didn't crash it. So there was a mountain of a dog, the horse dog. Everybody knows it's called the Great Dane.
Oh, I have a Great Dane story, but I'll tell you after.
So as me and my buddies, we're hitting the twisties and we're coming around and we're going way too fast down these roads and whatnot that we didn't really know. We were headed to go pick up his diaper bag. Nothing too silly, you know, whatever. So anyways, as we're going,
you always got to get a diaper bag on your bike just in case you got to take a shit.
Dude, fuck kids. Anyways, so anyways, you know, as we're going around the twisties and whatnot, he has this brand new 2019 Harley Davidson Fat Bob. Well, I had a 96 Honda Shadow American Classic Edition. I loved it. Well, I didn't want to be, you know, he obviously had the bigger CC, so I tried my best to stay in front of him and gun it around corners and whatnot. So as you know, I'm hauling, you know, we finally go and pick up the diaper bag. Well, anyways, I told him, hey man, my back tire kept coming out from underneath me. I said, hey man, I just want to cruise back, nothing too serious. So we're going back about 40 miles an hour, 45, something like that. And he's in front of me about 50 meters. And whenever he goes around this bend, you know, it's a left bend. So as I'm going, he goes around the bend, I'm coming around the bend. We're not going, you know, fast at all, about 45. And all of a sudden, this Great Dane comes out of the wood line. And I was like, oh shit. So of course I'm talking shit to this dog. And as I'm coming around the bend and whatnot, he walks out in the road. So I'm thinking, okay, I'll just go to the center median. Because I didn't want to come into oncoming.
Well,
because
dogs obviously
cars.
know road laws. You know, dogs they know when they need to get over and put their blinkers on.
Of course, he knew that there's a yield sign. You know, like he knew that I had the right of way. Well, anyways, apparently he failed the test a few times, whatever. And
well, he had his learner permits. He's probably
those are the worst.
You know, dog years every one for every 7. He was probably 14, maybe older, maybe 21.
I think so. Maybe he was drunk. Maybe he was 3 and he was 21.
You know, dogs when they get those bones in them, they a couple of bones down. Yeah, a couple of bowls of bones.
Absolutely. Well, this mountain of a dog came out, and so I went over the center median. I didn't want to come into the oncoming lane because I was worried about cars coming around that way.
Who cares about a car?
Me. So
4 tires versus 2, you can just drive over it like GTA. You know, all you gotta do is hit a wheelie, and you just shoot over it.
I didn't think of that. That would have been so
that's your mistake.
Yeah,
that was your mistake.
Right.
But
I need to call the insurance back. So, anyways, the dog kept coming out. Well, he stopped. I thought we had a mutual agreement. You stay there. I'm gonna ride. You know. Well, anyways, then he starts coming out. He's in the center he's coming out. He's walking across. So then I come out to the outside. But that outside was like a huge ditch. You know. So, anyways, as I'm coming around and whatnot, he decides to stop, and I clipped the back of his legs, and then, went straight to the ground and slid 100 feet. Me and the cop looked for that dog and everything. That dog got up and walked away.
Well,
he was still there for dinner.
The truth is, Great Danes will always be stronger than 1100s.
Hey, but I paid $2,000 for that bite. And I got $4,200 back in insurance, and I bought me a Harley.
Hey, insurance companies, don't be listening. Don't be listening.
But see, on top of that, it's the fact of what you were saying that like Suzuki Intruders, Honda Shadows. Now, if y'all are Harley guys, there's nothing wrong with Harley. But I will say that those bikes vibrate way harder.
You have to do a lot of maintenance on them. My stepdad used to have a Harley, and I don't know how much he paid for it. Probably like 12 to 15 grand.
My blinker fell off because of the vibration. Like broke off.
He would go ride it, and he'd come back and constantly be working on it. He'd work on it 10 times more than he had to ride it.
They sound good.
Oh yeah, they sound loud.
And
they look good.
A lot of torque.
The name's good.
Hey, back in the day, actually, when they first came out with the clutch and everything, Harley Davidson is always proud of their stuff, right? Well, Harley was so proud of it, they were bragging to everybody, we made a clutch. Well, Indian copied that design, patented it, and then sued Harley.
Well, that's because Indians are always, trying to fuck over Americans.
That's why.
Just because we took a little bit of land, they got to take a little bit of machinery.
They got the casinos and gas stations. I think we're fine.
Hey, Harris Casino, your boy likes a little bit of Harris here and there.
What do you think is the best casino?
I don't know. I've only been to Harris, so I've never been to Vegas or anything. So
I would like to.
There's a lot of gas stations around here that have backroom casinos. You can go in there and gamble in the back. Yeah. I mean, even the gas station right down the road, you can go in there and you can go in there and I don't know what they do. I think they do store credit or something. Like I guess you win, and then you can walk out with like 17 monsters.
Oh, that's pretty legit.
That's cool. I don't know how it works, but
monsters are definitely a part of my religion.
Oh yeah, I drink. I try to cut back on the monsters, but boy, they're addictive. I think they put something in them, maybe caffeine or something.
Yeah, definitely caffeine.
Taurine, caffeine,
bull sperm.
Yeah,
everything that's addicting.
I'm not saying I've ever tried bull sperm, but I've definitely tried what the sperm comes out of. I've had not the penis, not the penis.
Oh, okay.
Not bull penis. I've had versions of bull penis, but it's just like what we call it,
Yeah.
I'm just joking. I've never had a bull penis, but I've had mountain oysters. Yeah. Oh, hold on. Let me stop this recording. We're gonna have to cut that off. Cut. editors right here. This is where we need to edit.
We'll cut it out.
Yeah, definitely. It won't make it in. But no, mountain oysters. But
oh, speaking of oysters, I remember I lost this pool game. Like, I was winning like crazy, like knocking in every ball. I was drunk as hell. And we used to play manhunt, right? So,
oh boy, don't even.
One guy has a
manhunt.
paintball gun, and then you go out and hide.
I never did the paintball gun.
Oh yeah, because you know you got tagged.
We had fake blood we'd squirt on somebody.
Oh, that's pretty badass.
Dude, I walked into a store playing a game of manhunt, and I had already been tagged. And I walked into a store covered in fake blood,
covered in murder.
The lady looked like she was about to scream. Because I walked in and I'm covered in blood from my back down my shoulders and everything.
That's awesome.
And yeah, it was very interesting.
She'd probably be like, "What happened to you?" Be like, "I lost."
Yeah. I lost. You lost what? A pint of blood?
A game. It's a game.
No, it's just a game.
Who did you murder?
Well, we won't talk about murder on this episode, but I'll tell you what. On the next episode of Shiddy BnB, we may talk about something. We may talk about something else. What do you think, Brandon?
We might not talk about anything at all.
Well, you'll have to find out when you hear it.
Yeah.
But at this time, we're going to go ahead and close out. And you guys enjoy your week. And the next recording you hear will be us talking about whatever. Maybe we'll interview somebody. Maybe.
Hey, if y'all leave something in the comments, whatever y'all feel that y'all want to know about us, definitely hit us up. If this doesn't get, any views, anything like that, then we're just going to go ahead and start interviewing some of our buddies at our unit.
A little bit of backstory so you guys understand if you've made it this far is that me and my friend Brandon here, we're both named Brandon. We're both in the Army. We have a lot of interesting stories. We know a lot of interesting people. We've done a lot of stuff. We've been to a lot of places.
We're both 11 series, combat arms.
Combat arms, all that good stuff. We've both been overseas, done a lot of stuff. But the whole thing is, if you hit in the comments some stuff you want to know about us, just ask some questions. We'll read the comments and we will hit you back. We'll add it in. If you want to know something, ask. If you want to know my penis size, it's 6.25 inches. I've already measured. And it's not from butthole to tip. It's from the shaft to tip.
Now, is it one of those things where you're 6 foot on Tinder but 5'8" in real life?